Good day everyone. I am Florence Mark Agdon, based IT 4th year student of World City Colleges, Antipolo City. Today I'm going to present about project integration management. Let's proceed. So, as we all know, during the course of the project, a project manager may have to schedule tasks, purchase products, address risk, replace project team members, reschedule tasks, and accomplish many other things necessary to ensure successful project completion. So keeping track of these tasks can be overwhelming, and knowing how to manage outcomes when different project processes overlap is crucial. So project integration management helps the project manager coordinate different activities. So what is project integration management? So PIM touches on 5 phases of a project life cycle. So initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling. So when properly performed, project integration management ensures smoothly run and integrated project processes. So according to Information Technology Project Management book, project integration management involves coordinating all of the project management knowledge areas throughout the project's life cycle. So this integration ensures that all the elements of a project come together at the right times to complete a project successfully. So don't confuse knowledge areas with processes. So knowledge area is a group of knowledge, processes, and deliverables required in a certain specialty. Processes, on the other hand, are the actions and steps taken to achieve a certain result. So processes touches knowledge areas, and processes are the steps taken to achieve the project successfully. So we have here a scenario of an example, or let's think of a technician fixing a washing machine. So this technician is proficient in the knowledge area of appliance repair. The technician uses specific steps or processes to evaluate the machine, such as unplugging it before opening the motor case and of course examining the machine itself. So why is PIM important? So as we all know, projects are complex with a lot of project different parts that need to be managed. For example, a project manager needs to oversee all of the following. So schedule, cost, scope, quality, resources, risk, changes, stakeholders. There's a lot of, these are the knowledge areas. So you can see on the left, those are the knowledge areas. And on the bottom middle part is the concept, development, implementation, and close-up. These are the project life cycle phases. So using project integration management, we can expect the project to be successful. As I've told earlier, keeping track of everything and knowing how one impacts the other can be very challenging. However, if it is not done properly, it can lead to project failure. If you don't understand how a scope change will impact your schedule and resource requirements, then how do you manage the change? It increases the chance that you won't have people you need, go over budget, deliver your project late, or all three. Decisions about your project can impact other projects and other areas of the business. For example, what if you suddenly need a software developer to work on your project another month? Without PIM, throughout the organization, it can be hard to see how this impacts the business. Now let's proceed to the 7 processes of PIM integration management. So according to PMBOK Guide 6th edition, 7 main processes are involved in PIM. First is developing the project charter. Next is developing the project management plan. Third is directing and managing project work. Fourth is the managing project knowledge. The fifth is monitoring and controlling project work. Sixth is the performing integrated change control. The seventh, the last is the closing the project or the project race. So the fourth is the new addition to the project integration management processes. And these integration and management processes occur throughout the entire project lifecycle. In other words, at least one of these seven processes falls within each of the five standard phases of a project I presented earlier. So this is because managing project integration is an ongoing task that needs to continually happen throughout a project. First, let's discuss what is strategic planning. So this occurs before the process itself. So strategic planning involves determining long-term objectives by analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of an organization. So studying these opportunities and threats in the business environment, predicting future trends, and projecting the need for new products and services. Strategic planning provides important information to help organizations identify and then select potential projects. So the first step in project management is deciding what projects to do in the first place. So therefore, project initiation starts with identifying potential projects using realistic methods to select which projects to work on, and then formalizing their initiation by issuing some sort of a project charter. It's the first step of on the PIM. So after identifying the strategic goals, the next stage in the process for selecting information technology projects is to perform business area analysis. So this analysis outlines business processes that are central to achieving strategic goals and helps determine which processes could most benefit from IT. So in the next stage, the organization starts defining the scope, benefits, and constraints of potential IT projects. So the last stage in the process for selecting IT projects is choosing which projects to do and assigning resources for working on them. Let's proceed to the first of the seven processes of the project integration management. So first is developing project charter. So a project charter is a formal, typically short document that describes your project in its entirety. So including what the objectives are, how it will be carried out, and who the stakeholders are. It is a crucial piece in planning out the project because it is used throughout the project lifecycle. Instead of project charters, some organizations initiate projects using a simple letter of agreement, while others use much longer documents or formal contracts. Key project stakeholders should sign a project charter to acknowledge agreement on the need for and intent of the project. So depending on the size of your organization, you're going to use or a project charter, but it's recommended to do so. So additionally, the project charter identifies the project manager and gives him her authority to request and manage resources for the project. So the project manager leads the entire project until its completion. So on this process, this is where the preliminary scope statements are defined. So project charter example, this is a generic project for a company XYZ. So a project name. This includes we enumerate the project name, description, business case, deliverables, benefits, risks, budget, milestones, and other details. So the second process on the PIM is developing project management plan. So this plan outlines the different project management steps and processes necessary to efficiently bring the project to completion. It also defines the project's budget scope and schedule, individual team members' roles and responsibilities, how risk will be managed, how scope changes will be handled, and so on. So this is where the work breakdown structure plan is created. Essentially, the project plan details what needs to be done and how it should be done. So the project management plan is a summary and consolidation of the other management plans that provide a quick overview of the entire project. Additionally, it provides project baselines for schedule, cost, and scope. So a baseline is defined as the original and approved version of a project plan and is changed only through change management processes. So in our example on the repair shop scenario, The repair shop will generally send an email confirmation of the phone request to send technician out to look at the broken washing machine. The email confirmation will generally include the date and time of the appointment or the schedule that the technician assigned, what the technician is coming to do, any associated costs with the services in the services. So in the project management world, this will be the budget, schedule, resources, scope statements, and baselines respectively. So going back, so a project plan, in summary, is a document used to coordinate all project planning documents. So its main purpose is to guide project execution. Project plans assist the project manager in leading the project team and assessing project status. Project performance should be measured against a baseline plan. So what are the attributes of project plans? So projects are unique. So are project plans. So plans should be dynamic, should be flexible, should be updated as changes occur, should first and foremost guide project execution. So common elements of a project plan. So introduction or overview of the project. So description of how the project is organized. So management and the technical process used on project. So work to be done, schedule and budget information. So the third, fourth, and the fifth process of the PIM is the directing, managing, monitoring, and controlling the project itself. So during the direct and manage project work process, the work and action needed to accomplish the projects are completed. So this is where the project manager directs and leads the project in accordance with the project management plan and implements approved changes to ensure the project's objectives are met. So the goal of this process is to provide overall management of the project so that it ultimately meets agreed upon requirements. So the project processes such as scope, schedule, budget, and quality are monitored to ensure the project stays within scope and on schedule and budget and produces an acceptable level of quality. Project artifacts are managed and corrective actions may be taken to control project processes. So the third is the directing and managing project work. This is the execution phase. So this is the third process. So in the fourth, if necessary, project knowledge should be managed. So while monitoring and controlling the project is the fifth process. So outputs of monitoring and controlling project work includes change requests and work performance reports. So change request document include recommended corrective and preventive actions and defect repairs. Corrective actions should result in improvements in project performance. Preventive actions reduce the probability of negative consequences associated with project risk. Work performance reports, on the other hand, include status reports, progress reports, memos, and other documents used to communicate performance. So the sixth process is the performing the integrated change control. So this is where the alteration, modification, and change requests are implemented on the project. So should the project needs a change to schedule, budget, scope, or quality, the project manager must perform change control to adjust project baselines. So the perform integrated change control process ensures that each change request is properly received, evaluated, and decided upon according to the organization's established processes. If approved, a change request is integrated into the appropriate baseline and a new baseline is created. This process is where all changes, hence the word integrated, are assessed, analyzed, and decided upon. Depending on the organization, A change management board may be needed to review change requests. So change requests are common on projects and occur in many different forms. They can be oral or written, formal or informal. For example, a project team member responsible for installing a server might ask the project manager if it is acceptable to order a server with a faster processor than planned. The server is from the same manufacturer and has the same approximate cost. So, because of this project, this change is positive and should have no negative effects on the project. The project manager might give a verbal approval at the progress review meeting. So, this is an example of verbal or oral and informal um, informal change requests. So going back to our scenario where the example is a technician coming to look at a broken washing machine provides excellent change control situations. The technician initially came out to simply review the situation with the washing machine and determine why it was broken. Once he figures out the problem, so once he sees the machine itself, he will start talking to the owner and explain what needs to be done to fix it, how long it will take, whether or not he can do it at that time, and how much it will cost. The owner then will evaluate all the information and determine if he will agree to allow the technician to fix it. If he does approve the additional work, the owner has effectively approved a change control to the schedule, scope, and cost of the repair. Let's go back. So, a change control system is a formal documented process that describes when and how official project documents may be changed. It also describes the people authorized to make changes, the paperwork required for these changes, and any automated or manual tracking system the project will use. A change control system often includes a change control board, configuration management, and a process for communicating changes. Configuration management ensures that the descriptions of the project products are correct and complete. It involves identifying and controlling the functional and physical design characteristics of products and their support documentation. So the final process of the project integration management is the closing the project or phase. So once complete, the projects must be closed. All the deliverables and final documentation are submitted. The goal is to ensure that all contractual obligations are fulfilled. The close project or phase process is the formal closure of a phase or the entire project as applicable. A lessons learned document is prepared, outstanding items are identified, and a closure meeting is held to ensure the stakeholders are satisfied. The closing stage also includes reviewing or looking back at all the processes the project undertook from start to finish, and then determining whether these have been successful. So every change or detail must be documented for future projects to reference. So in our washing machine scenario, once the washer is fixed, the technician explains to the owner what the problem was, what was done to correct it, and any preventive actions the owner can take. Then presents the owner an invoice for signature and payment. Additionally, the repair shop may send a customer survey for feedback. So that concludes our broken washing machine project, and it has been closed. So using software to assist in PIM. So as we know, there are various products and services exist to direct and officiate PIM. Most of them are software programs that could help organization in their projects. So several types of project management softwares can be used to assist in PIM. So these are documents can be created with word processing software such as Word, Google Docs, or LibreOffice Writer. So presentations are created with presentation software such as PowerPoint and Google Slides. And tracking can be done with spreadsheets or databases such as Microsoft Access or Excel or Google Sheets, or communication software like email and web authoring tools facilitate communications. So small project teams can use low-end or mid-range project management software to coordinate their work, while large projects could benefit from said high-end tools and services. So it depends on the size of your organization whether or not you will use you should use various softwares in PIM. So the website full.com lists products and services that can be used for PIM. So the first is moonday.com for task scheduling and workload visibility. So the next is the Active Collab for financial management. This is the GUI of the moonday.com. The So you can see there's a Gantt chart there and various tasks are scheduled to various team members. The next is the graphical user interface for Active Collab. So this is the invoice info. And that concludes my presentation about the project information management. To conclude, to summarize, PIM is important to officiate the successful project completion. So this is Amar Sources, Information Technology Project Management 8th edition by KT Swalp, and the other links included. Thank you and have a wonderful days ahead. God bless.